So, with that, 3 over par now for the round. Frank, 7th hole here at TPC Sawgrass. How do you break this one down?
Not overly long, 440 yards, but once again, it's a tee shot. If you're driving the ball well, that's fine. You just sort of blister it down there, but you're starting to lose one a little bit to the right. There's 3 pot bunkers there, and of course, if you're fearful of it going left, there's the canal all the way down the left side that'll get your attention. Rich, there's nothing worse than this. This might look all right, but in the mulch, this is a disastrous situation.
So this is not mulch ado about nothing?
Ah, I get it.
Now playing the 2nd here at the par 4. Frank, you've been there. What's the best way to approach this next shot at the 7th hole?
There's a lot of mounding on this 7th green, to the right and the left. You can use those mounds to kick the ball to the flag.
Good-looking shot right here. Well, the stats say that is a green hit in regulation, but it's not yet a par on the card. Very tough putt coming up. This is a long putt. Really, the key is the speed. If it drops, that's a bonus. That is a painful bogey at the 7th hole. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. So not his best work. He'll walk away with a bogey. Frank, this is a hole that I really like. The 8th, 237-yard par 3, just a necklace of bunkers surrounding the green. What's the best approach?
You come out through that chute or that hallway of trees there, and this being the longest of the 4 par 3s at TPC Sawgrass, the green actually plays much smaller than what it looks because of that narrow entry.
Frank, I think that's going in the bunker.
Looks like it.
Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. Great professionals, Frank, they don't fear the green side bunker shot, do they?
No, because you can be as aggressive or as conservative as you want. You actually have far more options, and you don't have to hit the ball first.
And he's made it onto the green now.
It's at sneaky distance.
That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Just a couple of feet. That is another bogey. It's getting messy, Frank.
Ouch.
Frank, the ninth is really a good par 5, isn't it?
There's so many options here. Just play it away, sort of 3-wood it down there, then go to the right and sort of wedge it on the green. But it's very tempting, especially in the right wind conditions. And that's if they're coming over your shoulder for a right-hander from right to left. Then this par 5 is very reachable.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Frank, narrow entryway to this green here at the 9th. Short shot, but kind of difficult.
Yeah, don't want to get too aggressive here. You missed the green on the left, that bunker there, very difficult to get it up and down. And of course, there's the 2 little pop bunkers on the right side.
Frank, no doubt these players have dreams of winning the big championships, the majors someday, but at least to this point, you would have to say this is probably the biggest day of their golfing lives.
Golf, or professional golf, can be a little bit like snakes and ladders. They've got themselves on the ladder. If they can climb this one, the next ladder, the PGA Tour, but don't slip.
Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. How does that stay out?
I have no earthly idea. Let's crawl that. Hole's round. Ball's meant to go in.
Nudge this one home. Finish it up. So a drop shot. Well, that'll do it for day number 1, and a tough start for some of those who were hoping for better things.
Yeah, slow start, surprisingly, really, and hard to put your finger on why, because we saw a lot of good golf, but now, outside looking in, we'll need to play well tomorrow.
EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present second round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. It's the second round of the Web.com Tour Championship, fourth and final stop of the Web.com Tour Finals. We saw a lot of great golf on day number 1, but as we inch closer, Frank, with those 50 PGA Tour cards up for grabs, that pressure begins to ratchet up.
It would have to, Rich, with that golden ticket come the end of this week, and that's a chance to play on the PGA Tour. But for the time being, let's look at the way they're playing right now. We are seeing some players play at the top of their game.
Frank, so much focus on the back 9 here at the stadium course at TPC Sawgrass on the 17th hole with the island green. I think 13 gets lost sometimes, but the pros know this is a really good hole.
Oh, it can be disastrous too. That's, I think, what you're referring to, Rich. There's a big ridge in the middle of the screen that bisects the top side with the bottom side on the left. So even when the flag's on the left, you don't have to go directly at it, because that normally causes the problem with the wooden bulkheads down the left side and obviously the water left of that. So something on the ridge can often run down towards the left. But we have seen the odd hole-in-one here over the years.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Hit it. Clean this up with a tap. That's a bogey. And through the years, Frank, it has gotten the best of the best, hasn't it?
We've seen Tiger Woods hit it left. We've seen Vijay Singh hit it left. We've seen so many players in the water down the left. Conversely, many a championship's been lost by hitting the ball up in the mounds on the right.
You take 4 here and run to 15?
I would sprint.
Always so nice, Frank, when that gleaming white golf ball is sitting up on those emerald fairways, the way this one is.
The game almost appears easy when one is playing their second shot from the middle of the fairway, and you quickly forget how difficult it can be. You look left or right, the game becomes much harder.
Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole, don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Not quite where he was aiming, but still enough room to get it up and down. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Dropping a shot here late in the round, Frank, with that bogey at the 14th.
Even par currently.
Are you kidding me?
That looked like it was in.
This for double bogey. Frank, you know full well, this can be a humbling game.
And an embarrassing game.
Now to the 15th, and Frank, I know this is a hole that you really like.
Yeah, it gets no respect in my book, which I think is a shame. Just a nice dogleg to the right. And really two good shots and a 3 here, which is actually a rarity. It sets you up for those closing 3 holes. Too often people just take 15 lightly, and 15 has just a gentle nibble that turns into a bite.
Always makes the hole easier, playing it from the fairway. Frank, what's the key on this approach here at the 15th?
Well, knowing exactly where that pin placement is, Rich, there's mounding, there's that little gut out of the right side of the screen. If you miss your mark here, that ball can easily finish 30 or 40 feet away.
That will be a great look at birdie. These putts keep the round together. Just has the feel today. Frank, you're one behind. Sunday afternoon, you're trying to win one of the game's great championships. Is this a spot that you love as a competitor, the 16th hole of par 5, with a chance to make a lot of noise?
It's a spot you cannot hide from, Rich, because you know exactly there. If you haven't looked at a scoreboard, you can feel it from the atmosphere. second shot.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for 11.
Third shot, looking for a good one. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. And this would be nice. 2 straight birdies. Frank, I'm sure it feels good to get some red numbers on the card, but this tournament is probably too far out of reach at this point.
No question.
Frank, a couple different ways to watch golf as a fan. You could follow your favorite player for a number of holes, or you can park yourself in one spot. I think one of the better ones is the hill behind the 17th at TPC Sawgrass.
Yeah, and that's why the reaction of the fans is so different. If you followed that player the whole way around, you've lived and died on every shot he's hit. Meanwhile, if you stuck at a hole, you want to see some tragedy, you want to see some great shots, and consequently you get that divergence of different type of fan.
Just a beautiful approach shot. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Well, Frank, it's our job to get excited.
You can't when you leave it short, though.
I'm sad.
He's making my job hard.
Settles in over the putt. Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. Now to the final hole here at TPC Sawgrass, 462-yard par 4. Frank, is this one of the toughest finishing holes in the sport?
It is, because the simple reason you've played 17 holes and the job isn't done yet.
This is the second shot at the par 4. Frank, as we watch the Web.com Tour Finals, anyone in particular you think could be a breakout star? Someone like a Keegan Bradley who jumped right out onto the PGA Tour and won the PGA Championship in his first ever start in a major.
Well, this player that I'm looking at right now, yes, and I mean you out there. Look at that. A prodigy since the age of 2. A lot of people in the golf world have just been waiting for you to finally get to this point. And, well, time for me to watch, time for you to play.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Pretty long putt right here. You'd be happy to get it to within 2-3 feet. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knocking in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it is going to hurt the cause.
So a tough way to close the round, missing a short putt and a bogey here at 18. He needs this for bogey. And he makes it for a bogey here. Frank, disappointing couple of rounds there.
And consequently a miscut. No chance of playing in the weekend, but there's more than one tournament ahead.
This is EA Sports, PGA Tour coverage coming your way. Today it's live opening round coverage of the Career Builder Challenge. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. And we are back at PGA West, getting set to continue the action on the back nine. Beautiful hole here. Rock border that lines the water here at number 10. It's 416 yards. Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10th. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Now his third, staring right at the green. Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
I thought that was in.
Yeah, it looked good. I mean, line, pace, it's hard to be critical of that.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
It doesn't go in, you got to add another one to the scorecard.
And that's where the golf ball's just staring at you and mocking you and laughing at you.
You know deep down it's smiling too, don't you?
So, 2 over par for the round. Well, we've arrived at our third par 5 of the day here at PGA West. It is the 11th. It is nicknamed, appropriately, Eternity. 617 yards. And from the fairway for his second shot here. Frank, what's involved here in the third shot now at the par 5-11?
Just really setting up a good angle for that third shot. This is, when you lay up, it always pays just to check where the flag is. You want to sort of have a nice, comfortable look or angle to the flag.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
A rather nice shot, I would say.
Oh, can't hide the flag stick from that man. So a tester from 4 feet. Good stroke, just came up empty. So just a formality here. Well, not in contention, but in for par. Right now, another clever, small par 4, only 363 yards here at the 12th.
A couple of different options here, Rich. You can lay it up just short of where that nose of the bunker starts to poke out on the right side of the fairway. Then you're going to be left with something in the sort of 140, 150 yard mark to the flag. Or if you want to get a little sort of greedy, you start to sneak it up there where it gets narrowed. It's shorter, but it requires a better shot.
Frank, not overly long, but still a pretty good spot and in the fairway.
Yeah, that's in that 280 mark.
Frank, another good scoring opportunity here at the par 4 12th.
Yeah, just have to focus on where that flag is in relation to these little ridges and the mounds on this green. It's called moat because it's protected all by that wall of sand down that left side. That's not really in play for this shot. If you're smart, use one of those little ridges. They can kick it towards the flag.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here. Well, that was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back? Rich, you know, after you've already made one mistake in the rough, there's a chance he's going to make another.
Just trying to get it back out into the fairway and not make a big number. And from the rough, he manages to not only make the green, but get within easy striking distance of the hole. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. So, with that, 3 over par now for the round. Frank, what do you make of this par 3 13th at 214 yards?
It's another example of Pete Dye using those sort of very harsh wooden bulkheads that give you that such a definitive line around the edge of the green. Plus, it's his ability to turn a straight hole into a very angular or crooked-looking hole. Hazard.
Maybe wet. just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
And the computer dials this one up at 26 feet. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Par attempt here.
That's the cruelest thing about this game, Rich. I mean, it's another shot.
Just a little tap in here. Not too bad. He gives one back. Well, Frank, kind of a make-or-break hole here at the 14th, par 4, 389 yards.
Yeah, for the Cavalier player, you can sort of go at this green in a more direct line. 290 yards will take all this bunker down the right out of play. Just leave you a flick in here. I'm going to say that's not a bad play, really. If you don't do that, then you just got to thread it down the left.
Always makes the hole easier, playing it from the fairway. Now the approach shot here at 14. Not terrible, but not his best.
Outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt.
Well, that takes the strain off the next one.
Good lag putt right there. Been a rocky road to this point. 4 over par on the round. And that'll wrap up the first round. We saw some good golf today, Frank, but some others, they got off to a slow start.
Yeah, and I don't really know how to explain why. Maybe lack of practice rounds, maybe not enough time on the golf course. They certainly will have to regroup tomorrow and put up a show just to make the cut.
Presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. It's second round coverage of the Career Builder Challenge. Rich Lerner pleased to be alongside Frank Navalo for EA Sports, back to PGA West, getting set for the back nine. And the 10th hole, it's a good-looking hole, Frank, at 416 yards.
It certainly gets your attention, just the visual there. This is one of those holes, if you've got a caddy, you say, oh, what's that carry over the bunker on that left side where the water is? He'll tell you it's like 240 yards, and then you say, well, what's it to the bunkers on the right? Well, to get past those ones on that right side, you're in the vicinity of 300 yards. This is a hole that, you know, you'll scratch your head.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. Been pretty good all day from this distance. Just trying to take care of business. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Wow, I thought it was going in just off the mark by a fraction. Just the tap in to finish the hole. So another bogey on the scorecard. And Frank, what happened this week?
I think it's a week to forget, Rich.
Frank, how about this hole, the par 5 11th? Long one.
Oh, it is. And, you know, anything over 600 yards, only the longest it is the Bubba Watsons, the Dustin Johnsons of the world. The other ones that can get home on a hole like this. For the other ones, even those bunkers down the left side are sort of in play. You at least have to give them a cursory look off the tee. Nothing wrong with a hole that a par 5 that you can't reach. You can still play it as a 3-shotter. And in some respects, you get rewarded for laying up here because that water that comes in on the left-hand side, that's not going to be in play.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. All right, Frank, time to play a little pitch and putt right now. Good chance with a good shot here to make a 4.
Yeah, holes like this is where small ball can beat big ball.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. These putts keep the round together. Frank, we haven't seen a whole lot of that, but no doubt it feels good. To the par 4 12th here at PGA West, short at 363 yards. Good tee shot right in the short grass. Club has been pulled, ready for the second shot now at the par 4 12th. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. That will be a great look at birdie. And this would be nice. 2 straight birdies. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it.
Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. Tricky par 3 here, the 13th, 214 yards. Well, this is the kind of wind that separates the great players from the average players. You really have to be strong to handle these kinds of winds. On the green and looking at a birdie opportunity. Birdie putt coming up. Had a bogey on this hole yesterday. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Bogey here yesterday, chance to better that today. Good stroke, just came up empty. This for bogey once again. Made bogey here yesterday. So not his best work. He'll walk away with a bogey. Now another short par 4. It's only 389 yards. But Frank, where could a player go off course, so to speak, at this 14th?
Well, this is a hole where you have to play your own game. If you're a longer hitter, I think you can challenge that bunker and knock it over there. And if you're shorter player, you should be only looking at that left side. You're always going to feel like you've left something out there on a hole like this. You always think you could have done the other option. But this is where you've got to stick to what you think is your game plan.
Frank, what's the key here? Second shot at 14.
Green sits up a little bit, well protected by those bunkers there. A nice high, soft landing shot. And this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. That is classy.
Got a chance of going in.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Cleans that up in the hole. Frank, what's the best way to make 3 here at this 389-yard par 4 14th?
I'm not sure, really. I know there's 2 definitive options, hitting it down the left or carrying over the bunker. And I think that's another example of Pete Dye. There's one of those holes you never really know if you've made the right play until you finish the hole.
Now the approach here at 15.
This is way left going left.
And that one's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. How about that shot right there from that lie in the rough to knock it that close? That's good. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Has his par. Missed cut. What happened, Frank?
Just not good enough. That's the easy way. Way too many shots out there, especially for that caliber of play. So put it in the memory banks, move forward, better days ahead.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the BioWare Classic. Getting set for all the action on what my idol Vin Scully would have said was a beautiful afternoon here in the Sunshine State. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. Getting ready at Wetlands Golf and Country Club. An interesting layout, Frank. The players are ready to go, and what are you thinking about as you get set to tee off?
Well, you're thinking about you're going to play a long golf course, sort of mid-7,000 yard range, but this is a golf course that you actually do get to hit your driver more often than not. So it's a good driving golf course. Green's relatively flat as well, but be careful if you're a little weak of heart. Look left or right, you might see the odd gator or two. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
It's a cruel game.
Clean this up with a tap. Well, with that drop shot, moves to 1 over for the tournament. A lot of great golf early on. Let's get you out to the action at the 5th. Frank, you know this. You can't win a tournament in the first round, but you can lose it. As we catch up with our featured golfer, they need to turn this around just to make the cut.
And turn it around now. Second shot.
Now the third shot at the par 5. That's a bit offline in the rough.
Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Inside 20 feet, never bad.
Yeah, 18 feet to be exact.
Frank, amazing how this hole has gotten away.
Yeah, he's not Robinson Crusoe. Happened to everybody that's played this game.
So, 2 over par for the round. On to the par 4 6th here at the Wetlands. And Frank, how does that water factor into the way you play this hole?
It bisects this fairway beautifully, Rich. 233 yards to the run out on the first section of fairway. And that might be worth considering for the short hitters. To try and flash it across the narrowest part of those wetlands, 276 yards. And of course, the more horsepower you got, actually the easier this tee shot becomes.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Frank, this will be from 200 yards, second shot. So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
Setting up for an approach shot here. Well, this is the kind of strong wind that will really test a player. Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
He needs this for bogey. Not his best effort right there. That's a bogey, and now 3 over. Frank, now we get a crack at another par 5. The 7th is 592 yards.
And certainly reachable, especially with a tee shot that follows the shape of this fairway, which is slightly to the left. Good tee shot, you can get home. And those bunkers, if anything, are nicely placed on that left side of the green, actually to protect a shot that goes too far or too left.
Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway.
Right in the heart of the fairway, green light special. Frank just never really adjusted to these changing winds.
They have been a problem for everybody out there, but once again, smart shot selection. You don't have to aim every shot at the flag today.
Third shot, looking for a good one. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Who knows? It is a 4-round tournament, setting himself up for a good weekend, maybe a great one. The young star makes his birdie. On to the 8th. It's a par 3, 203 yards. What's going on here, Frank?
Interesting par 3, really. It looks anything other than a straightaway hole. That bunker short of this green gives you like an optical illusion. You think it's lapping up with the front of this green, but there's actually sort of 3 or 4 yards before you get to the putting surface. A little bit of a drop-off behind this green, and it narrows out the deeper the green gets. So, tricky little par 3.
How tough is this going to be now from the rough, Frank?
Oh, it's tough to say, Rich. I mean, so much is going to depend on that lie. I'm going to need a little bit of luck.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Well, that's what the great ones do. From the rough, they use their skill and their strength to get it out and get it close. Shouldn't be a problem here. Oh, I thought he had that. Come on, you have to make that, don't you? Drop shot here at the 8th. So just a formality here. That is another bogey. It's getting messy, Frank.
Ouch.
Frank, looking at this par 5 ninth hole, it's 621 yards. I need to make birdie here. What's the best way to go about it?
Well, if you're a long hitter, then there's a chance you can reach this par 5 and 2, Rich. But really the best way to make birdie here, good tee shot, and then contemplate the layup. In between the first two bunkers, there's a nice section of fairway, and that's not going to leave you much in for that third shot to a green that's very receptive. So really, birdie can be made the hard way, wedge and a putt.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Third shot, about 110 yards out. Frank, not where he wants to be, but not out of the hole here at the par 5.
No, but Rich, to drop a shot here would really set him backwards.
All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
And he's made the green. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. That was a good run right there. Almost went in.
At least he's seen the line as it went past the hole. So just replicate that on the way back.
Hard to be perfect in this game. That's a bogey. Well, not an especially good start to the tournament, Frank, through one round. They might be in jeopardy of missing the cut.
And they have to remember right now it's just one round, and they are, as you were saying, in the outside looking right in at the moment. But you never know. I've seen golf tournaments won from further back than this.
Presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Well, here we are at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club. We're located along the St. Johns River in the Sunshine State, Florida. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. Frank, what stands out when you look at the wetlands?
The swampland, the gators, really it's a good driving golf course, Rich. Not a lot of fairway bunkers in play here at Wetlands, but if you drive the ball well here, you really can get a good score out here at Wetlands. They play the web.com here every now and again, so...
EA Sports is proud to present today's PGA Tour coverage. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my colleague Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. Getting set to go at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club. We're located along the St. Johns River in the great state of Florida. That was just a beautiful drive. He hit it solid and right in the middle. Okay, the second shot now at this par 5. EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the BioWare Classic.